Cronin Toyota and Cronin Nissan are honored to partner with Proudly We Served, as well as the continued support of our local active and retired military veterans across eastern Indiana.
I'm Al Bledsoe, Veterans of Foreign War, Post 1108.
I'm Ron Chappell. I'm chaplain for Vietnam Veterans 777 here in Richmond, and partner with Al here at Proudly We Serve.
And hope everyone's having a great day. We've opted to talk about some of these holidays and special days for veterans. Yeah. So we're going to kind of go through this list, and some of these, I'm sure that everybody will recognize some of them, but there are a few of these, like there's a Chaplain's Day, which is in February.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
There's a Coast Guard Reserve Day. That's in February. Navy Reserve Day, that's in March.
Right.
In Veterans
Day.
Canine Day.
The Canine Day, okay.
In March, so March, we also have the Medal of Honor Day. Now, I think I knew that one.
Yeah, I knew that one.
Vietnam Veterans Day, especially that. We have a chapter 777 in Richmond, so certainly we celebrate that day. The Gold Star Spouses in April.
That's a good one.
Air Force Reserve in April.
Okay.
Army Reserve in April.
Yeah.
Silver Star Banner in May.
Yeah.
Military Spouse Appreciation
I think that
Day.
one, man, that one does not get the attention that it needs.
Needs, right.
Because I know my wife, she was with me all through my time in service and the moving and all that kind of stuff, and they need to be honored.
Sure.
So
we need to really bring that to our attention, that you know, even though a lot of us are maybe out front there, we still have to have that spouse behind us that's really beating it. So
a good, dependable, trustworthy spouse.
Children of Fallen Patriots in May.
Yeah.
Armed Forces Day in May.
Yeah.
May the 18th. That's a recognized day. That's a day that we always talk about.
Right.
And of course, the big one in May is Memorial
Day. Yeah.
That's the last Monday in May, and we always have a ceremony at Veterans Park for Memorial Day.
Right.
That generally starts at, I believe, 11.
Yep.
And we also have a ceremony at Earlham on Memorial Day. Anniversary of World War II. That's another thing we don't really talk too much about, that, you know, that's the greatest generation. I think that most people, that's what they've referred it to.
So invasion of Normandy. Yeah.
And so Flag Day, that's another thing we should probably, to respect our flag, we should really honor that a little bit more than we do.
Yes,
we don't talk about that enough.
Right.
We do have people in this country nowadays that decide they feel like they need to burn the flag.
I know.
And so,
but they don't understand that what that flag represents.
That's exactly right.
Gives them the liberty to do dumb stuff like that.
That's exactly right.
Excuse me.
Yeah, but it is dumb stuff, for lack of a better word.
Right.
But in my world, they call it stupid. But,
okay.
There's probably another word for it. But anyway, we're talking about burning the American flag, which is not a good thing for veterans.
No.
Army's birthday, Coast Guard's birthday, all of those are in June. National PTSD Awareness Day.
No, I didn't know that.
Very important day, and that's something we don't talk enough about.
We don't.
Is PTSD and some of the guys that have issues with some of that stuff. So we really need to talk about that more than we do.
Yeah, because it affects the way that they live.
Exactly.
You know? And the way that they live impacts other people and their families, their jobs. Many of them, because of PTSD, have difficulty being focused on their job, so they don't do it.
Right.
And so they end up out there, and a lot of the folks that we see out there on the street, veterans, it's because of PTSD and their inability to adjust to the environment.
Sure.
Yeah. So
that's what it is.
And work.
Unfortunately or fortunately, our government, I think they actually recognized PTSD from Vietnam guys in 1980.
Yeah, initially.
I think was when the government first recognized that PTSD is a real problem.
Right.
But they still don't really know what that problem is. They just know that if you medicate it, it'll go away, but never goes away.
No.
It just hides it maybe. But that's an important day that we really should bring more attention to.
I agree.
Independence Day or 4th of July, that's a big day.
That's right.
We have Post 65 usually puts on the fireworks here in town on July the 4th, or those days of celebration with that.
And that day and the celebration of the flag go together.
Right, exactly.
And so people who are opposed to it, maybe they don't need independence or want it.
Korean War veterans. That's another thing we don't really talk enough about. The Korean, I think, the Forgotten War is what it's referred to.
Yeah.
We don't bring that to everybody's attention enough. Certainly the guys, when they were around, I tried to talk to them as much as I possibly could.
Me too.
But a lot of those guys didn't really share a lot of stuff. They were pretty closed up with stuff like that. So, but that's something we should really also do a lot. Coast Guard's birthday is August.
Yeah.
Purple Heart Day. It's another day that we should. We don't really need to celebrate it, but we need to bring some attention to it.
Honor them, honor those.
Exactly, because we have a lot of Purple Heart guys from Vietnam in Wayne County. I don't know how many, but I'm sure that we got some.
We got a pretty good.
You go to every. We have a reserved parking spot at Cronin, the dealership for Purple Heart people.
Yeah.
Lowe's has a special place for Purple Heart recipients. So that's really a good thing there. I think we ought to celebrate that more.
People need to understand too, Purple Heart is not just a decoration. That's awarded to people who incurred injury in battle, in combat, and so they certainly deserve. Do
you know why they call it Purple Heart?
No, that's no.
Okay, so George Washington, when they were in battle, of course his men would get shot, and when the blood dried, it would turn purple.
No kidding.
And therefore they called it Purple Heart.
That's
a long story though, but that's kind of the short story. Marine Forces Reserve birthday, of course, our Marines, we need to be proud of all the Marines that we have. They're the first ones in usually.
My friend, well, you remember Pete McDaniel?
Sure.
Yeah, and he and I used to joke back and forth about the services. You know, he was a Marine in the Army. You know. He said, Ron, he said, do you realize what Army really means? And I thought about it. I said, well, yeah, Pete said, good, dynamic force. He said, no. Army means ain't ready for Marines yet. I said, okay, I'm going to shut my mouth. I'm not going to say nothing else.
Marines, that's another thing we really need to show them the respect, because those men, they have fought for this country big time.
Yeah, well, I know when we went into Quy Nhon, Vietnam, we got off the boat, got into the LSTs and went into the land base there. But the Marines had gone before us and had cleaned the area to make it safe for us to be able to land where we were. Yeah,
they were next to us in Vietnam. There was a wire fence that separated us and the Marines, but they were kind of doing the same mission that they had. So, but they were a bunch of young guys. I mean, I don't know how many of them ended up.
19.
Yeah, a lot of them were 18, 19 years old and just really not good. POWMIA Day, we just celebrated that September.
Yes,
That's a big day. We had a pretty good celebration.
We really did.
With the help of DAR.
Yeah.
They was a big part of our celebration this year. I think if we can get some more information out there to people, I think we'll have a better service this next year coming up. Certainly with DAR's ability to
Daughters
organize.
of American Revolution, right? DAR.
Yeah.
Okay. Some folks may not know what that is.
They have to, and they've done a good job. They've kind of stepped in with Vietnam veterans. They've kind of come to some of our meetings, and they give some structure to everything.
Yeah,
so,
Did we mention Air Force birthday? Did we mention that?
No, we didn't.
Okay. Air Force.
We should have
we
should have mentioned that.
Yeah.
Air Force birthday, September the 18th. That's another one of those days we don't talk about.
Right.
Gold Star Mothers and Family Day.
Yeah.
September 29th. Boy, what a pity we don't really mention that as much
Don't
as
give
we
them enough. No.
exactly the
acknowledgement.
Gold Star Mothers.
Yeah.
I don't know how many we have in Wayne County, but we should certainly honor those people. Even the Blue Star, also we should honor those also.
Yeah. Now, Gold Star, for those who don't know, that's for families who lost loved ones in combat, and so we honor them.
The Navy's birthday is October the 13th, which is, we have a lot of Navy people or ex-Navy people in Wayne County.
We do.
National Day of the Deployed, October the 26th. I did not know that.
I didn't know anything about that.
There's a holiday that's called the National
That's all of
Day.
us, right?
Yeah, that's all of us. National Day of the Employed. November the 10th is Marine Corps' birthday.
Yeah.
November the 11th, Veterans Day.
That's all
That's
of us,
a day that we all celebrate. We have our celebration is usually at the park. It's at 12 o'clock, I believe. Usually it's 11:11. It's 11 o'clock, so it's 11:11.
Right. It was based on the anniversary of the signing of the Armistice Treaty, which ended World War I, and is also a day to thank military veterans for their service.
Yeah.
So,
we generally have a good turnout for that. We have that at Veterans Park on November the 11th.
Yeah,
November the 11th this year, I believe, is on a Monday. December the 7th, Pearl Harbor Remembrance Day. It's another thing we don't really, I think we bring that up, but we really don't talk about Pearl Harbor too much. But again, that's when it all started. So
yeah, and a lot of veterans still living who were affected by that particular.
Exactly. We've had guys on this program over the course of the last 10, 12 years.
Yeah.
We've had guys that were actually at Pearl
at
Harbor.
Pearl Harbor. Yeah.
So that's really something.
That's right.
Space Force, that's, of course, that's
a new one.
Newest thing out.
That's I wish I was young enough to be a part of that.
Yeah,
man.
that's a good thing, and that's new. National Guard birthday is in December also. I did not know that.
Yeah.
Significant military months, April, May. Military Appreciation Month is May. So there's a lot of things going on in May.
Right.
And that's just a listing of some.
I like this one. Month of the Military Child.
What is it?
Month of the Military Child. It's in April. So.
Yeah, okay, I saw that.
I hope my kids don't know that because they'll be coming to me for some kind of award.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know some of this Silver Star Banner Day. That's in May.
Yeah.
I didn't know that, but that's another one of those holidays that it's out there, we just don't do anything with it.
Yeah.
May the 10th is Military Spouse Appreciation Day.
Yeah. And they need
Children of Fallen Patriots Day.
Yes.
That's something that I think that we should talk more about also.
Yeah.
We just don't talk about a lot of these things very much anyway. So.
Yeah. Military Caregiver, Month of the Military Caregiver in May. Now, I never knew anything about that. And those are important people.
Yeah.
I was just talking to someone just maybe a couple of weeks ago. We were talking about veterans who they're not in a home, but they can get service.
Yeah.
They're not in a military facility, care facility, but they're in their own homes.
Yeah.
But they need help, and that there's a program, and that's probably what this is.
Yeah, and that's something. That's another one of those things. There's a lot of these holidays that we've been talking about here that we don't really talk very much about. They're important, but we don't really say much about them. The Gold Star. I was just looking at this Gold Star Spouses Day. Yeah. That's just. I don't know. We just don't bring that up much. I don't hear it brought up in conversations much at all.
And they need that support because they've lost a loved one.
Sure.
They've lost their husband or wife or whomever.
Sure.
And that's something, like, well, in any kind of death, you don't just get over it like that. But
yeah,
something special about military persons,
yeah,
and the fact they gave their life for this country. And you may feel like you were deprived of that person's life support because of what they did. And when you see people who are rebelling against the military and the flag, that really aggravates you. That I gave my loved one, gave his or her life, and here are these fools out here, stomping on the ground and rebelling against the military,
acting like idiots. Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
So.
Somebody's going to throw rocks at us in the TV.
Yeah. This, we skipped over this for some reason, but September the 11th is, of course, 9/11.
Oh, yeah.
That's when all the heck broke loose with the towers in New York, and I remember to this day where I was at when all that happened.
Yeah.
And that was something we were totally caught off guard. I don't think, or if intelligence knew it, they sure wouldn't say anything about it.
That's true.
So, and then when the second plane hit,
I saw all that. I was at the Y on the treadmill, and they were showing all that. And man.
We were all at the carpet store at the time, and of course the crews were getting ready to load out.
Yeah.
They'd already hit the first tower.
Yeah.
And then one of the guys come running up and said they just hit another one.
Yeah.
And then when they ended up in Pennsylvania, I think.
Yep.
That's where the plane crash was at and all that stuff. Those are important days. We've just kind of hurriedly went through some of these days.
And we need to talk about upcoming events.
Yeah.
Veterans Day service.
Exactly.
And all that,
And so if you get a chance, those are readily available. I think you can print those off.
Yes.
But those are days that we really need to stop and think that how important the veterans are to this country.
Yes.
And how important they should be, I should say.
Exactly.
They're not really shown the respect. Maybe.
Right.
Maybe they aren't shown the respect now that they used to.
Right.
But and it started when we come home from Nam. There was no respect there, and it just seems like it's progressively grown into anything's okay nowadays. So.
We got to get going on the upcoming events.
Yeah.
We're running out of time. So.
Okay, so upcoming events, one thing that's really important is the food pantry for veterans is the fourth Tuesday of the month at CBOC, which is our doctor's office, you might say.
Veterans Clinic.
1010 North J Street. That's at 9 o'clock, so it's 9 to 11, fourth Tuesday of the month.
Yes.
For information purposes, VFW Post 1108, which is a very supportive person of this program, and also the food pantry. Visit the post if you get a chance. 213 South 8th Street.
Bring your ID card.
Bring your ID with you. Legion Post 65 109 North 6th Street. They meet on the fourth Monday of the month, 962-4321. The VFW meets the first Thursday of the month.
Right.
Phone number is 966-6441. You're certainly welcome. If you're a veteran of VFW and you fit the whatever you need to for the VFW, that if you're a veteran of a foreign war, which you have to be, or a spouse
of a veteran,
that fits the criteria for that.
Yeah.
We got a Veterans Parade coming up November the 9th.
Yeah.
We got Veterans Day coming up, 11/11. Again, that's an event that we have. That's usually a good turnout at Veterans Park. The Marine Corps League, which is now, you can get hold of them under Down Under, 200 South 9th Street. Toys for Tots, that's where the Marine Corps. That's a recognized program that the Marines have had for years. From what I understand, they're still going to have that program.
Yep.
American Legion Post 315 at 514 South L Street, 373-8181. You can call them. I don't know quite what hours they're open. I think they open at 11 o'clock, but after that, I don't know. We have a Christmas dinner this year for veterans. That's one of the biggest events probably in Wayne County. Saturday, December 7th is what I wrote down. Is that?
That's the date?
That's correct, I think.
Okay.
But it's that Saturday in December.
Yeah, if that information is not correct, on our next program we'll have the information.
Yeah, we can try to correct that.
Verify, yeah.
It's in December.
Yeah.
The Christmas dinner, all that's free, doesn't cost anything.
Yeah.
All you got to do is show up. So,
Right.
And Lisa Creech has been putting that on. I think I read someplace where this will be the 10th year.
Yeah.
So that's really a good thing for veterans too.
Yeah.
And a lot of veterans from Wayne County attend that.
Hey, we forgot Vietnam Veterans, third Thursday.
Yeah, VVA.
At Post 1108.
Chapter
7
777.
Yeah,
Right.
we have food at 6 o'clock. We have a meal prepared by the auxiliaries. It's usually good food. And then after that, we have our meeting.
Meeting at 7 o'clock, and then we after that we have Veterans Memorial Park, which we didn't mention that or bring that up.
Yeah.
That's a big part of the veteran community.
There's a lot of stuff for veterans, isn't it?
Yeah, and the park, there's so much. If you want to get involved in something and you want to really work at something, Veterans Park, they can always use help there with setting up flags, setting up for all the. They set up all the things.
Yeah.
Andy and I can't think his last name, but he took over to basically take over with Joe Goebel and Barb Goebel. So, but that's another big thing that he kind of. Yeah. It's good for veterans, I guess you'd say. So.
And I want to thank the folks for their support of this program.
Sure.
Proudly We Serve. I see people on the street and they recognize me and they know Al, and they just tell me how much they appreciate the information that we bring forth on the program, the people that we bring on, the subjects that we address, and that kind of thing. So we want to thank you for supporting Proudly We Serve.
You can't really say enough about the veterans and support, and of course Cronin, that's I work at Cronin. I've been with Cronin since they started. They've been good to sponsor our program for the last 6 years or so. They've been a good sponsor. They're a good company to work for. And if you come to Cronin and you're a veteran, tell them you're a veteran and they're liable to give you something off on your bill.
Right,
so
okay.
You just never know.
I'm going today.
But that's another story. But so there's a lot of things that veterans, I don't think we can do enough for the veteran community. We should respect our veterans more. You know, we've kind of declined in that area a little bit. Our
I don't think there should be such a thing as a homeless veteran.
Well, I don't think so.
It shouldn't exist. We should be doing something more, you know.
I've always said I've never met a homeless veteran, because if I meet a homeless veteran and he really is a homeless veteran, I would take it upon myself to help him as much as I could.
Yeah, myself as well.
But you have too many, you have too many people out there that are acting that way, but they're not really veterans. That's another story.
That's another story.
You can get into chasing some of these things down the road probably too much, but it's been a good ride for us for the last 10, 12 years.
I've really enjoyed it.
We've had some really good guests.
Yes, we have.
We've had, we'd like to have Pete McDaniel back. You know, he's
that'd be awesome.
one we'll never forget on this show.
Yeah, we have had some memorable
Joe
stories.
DeVito.
Joe DeVito,
A wealth of information. Man alive, I've never been around a guy that has so much information and can just reel that stuff, and all the acronyms or whatever that he says.
Have to slow him down and say, whoa, what does that mean, man?
I don't know how in the world he does that, but all those things are just good in the veteran community. They've been good.
Yeah, we've been very blessed.
Very much so.
Yeah. So whatever many years we have to do this, however long it, we can do it, we're going to do it. All right. Yeah.
As long as we can, anyway.
We can. Yeah. And also, if you have folk that you would like to see on the program, who could give us certain information, whatever, get a hold of us. My number is 765-977-6542, and Al's number is
765-993-2183.
Yeah. So give us a call if you know somebody that you'd like to see on the program. That would be, something beneficial for everybody to hear, and we'll try to get them on.
And a big thanks to all the people in Wayne County that support the veteran community. I think we're pretty well supported. I mean, some of our events are just awesome.
Man,
and I think some of it, if we would just do a little bit more promoting and stuff, we would have even more people at these events.
Yeah.
Because we got one of the best veterans parks in the state.
In the state, yes.
Yeah. I mean,
in the world.
Yeah.
I mean,
we have to rate in the top 3,
absolutely,
4 in the state.
Absolutely.
So we have monuments from everything, and they're just
the way it's laid out.
Everything is laid out good. Exactly. Yeah.
Man, we got the chopper.
Yeah.
And then the fighter.
Fighter jet.
And every branch of service is represented. Every major conflict is represented.
Right. And that's all spelled out on the monuments themselves, too.
Yeah.
And the view is something that if you get a chance, and the best time sometimes in summertime at sunset, if you go down to the park and you come down the hill and you see that Huey, it looks like that Huey is banking coming in. Yeah, and I don't know whether Joe planned it that way. Joe Goebel and Barb was involved in that a lot.
Yeah.
So I don't know whether it was planned that way, but it certainly come out to be, to really look good.
And Joe and Barb Goebel, they need recognition for the work that they've done in this community in support of veterans.
Exactly.
The Veterans Park and many other things that they were committed to over the years. When I first got here, it's been over 20 years, and I mean, they were strong then, and they've accomplished so much in the last 20 years.
Yeah.
Here in this community, and so certainly Joe and Barbara, I thank you for what you've done.
Yeah, they've done good, and they've had a good support system, and to carry on what they do, that just takes a lot of energy.
Yeah.
Because it's thankless what they do at the park, cleaning the park, and now that the park is kind of under the control of the Parks Department, Denise does a pretty good job of keeping it clean and keeping it up nice, and all the people that we have that have done things for this community.
Well, we got to go, folks. This has been good.
Yeah, this has been a good episode.
Different than what we normally do.
So, again, a big thank you, and we'll talk to you again on the next show, but that's kind of what this show was. So. Have a good one.
Hey, have a good one, folks.
See ya.
Thanks for supporting Proudly We Serve.
Cronin Toyota and Cronin Nissan are honored to partner with Proudly We Served, as well as the continued support of our local active and retired military veterans across eastern Indiana.